Hi Ramesh, good morning. Okay, shall we start our discussion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, morning,
Yeah,
morning, Venu.
okay. Yeah. So can you please explain yourself, Ramesh?
Yeah, hi, my name is Ramesh. I'm working as a senior DevOps engineer with 5 years of experience, working on cloud infrastructure like AWS and working on CI/CD automation, CI/CD pipelines, and containerization and infrastructure as a code. My
Okay.
core skills include AWS, Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, Terraform, Git, and Linux. I have built the automated deployment pipelines, managed Kubernetes clusters, and automated infrastructure provisioning while improving application reliability and reducing deployment times. I enjoyed in solving the infrastructure challenges like automation, repetitive tasks, and working closely with the development teams to deliver the software efficiency. I'm looking for a role where I can leverage my DevOps expertise while continuing to grow in cloud native technologies and platform engineering. And coming to my roles and responsibilities, so I started. I have a daily routine in my organization. So like writing the Docker files and Docker files in the lower environments and connecting with the developer team and writing the Docker files. And in my roles and responsibilities, I would like to write the Kubernetes manifest files also, depending upon the developer things. And coming to my roles and responsibilities, I will do the monitorings like I will monitor the logs of the Kubernetes cluster, and I would like to and I will check if any yeah, if any I would like to use a different type of tools in the monitorings like Prometheus and Grafana and Datadog for the and Datadog for application monitoring.
Okay.
And we have yeah, sorry.
Yeah, tell me. Please go ahead.
And I would like to automate the I would like to use some automation tools like Terraform, that is to automate my infrastructure as a code. So these are my
Okay.
roles and responsibilities in my organization.
Yeah. Okay, Ramesh. Thank you for sharing your experience. Okay. Let me talk about each and every tool. Okay. You have experience in Linux, right?
Yes.
Okay. So can you please explain the boot process in the Linux?
Boot process is nothing but where we can where I mean like the boot process is just like an Windows boot. That means what are the processors, what are the child processors and parent processors which are running in the boot. If boot is running, we cannot run the kernel updates like that.
What happened in the back end while while boot process? What happened in the back end? Do you know about the
I mean, like if the boot process, I mean, see the backend. For example, we have different type of Linux versions like Kali Linux and RHEL Linux and normal Linuxes. So most of the cases, we will the boot process, as per my understanding, that is my understanding regarding to the boot. But I'm not having that much of knowledge on this boot process
okay,
actually.
yeah. Okay, fine. So what is the difference between the soft link and hard link?
Yeah, soft link and hard link is nothing but, for example, if you use the ln space space I'm sorry, if you use the hard link, if I created a like file with the hard link, for unfortunately, if I delete that file, that original file in the hard link, the hard link file will be there. In the soft link, if you delete the original file, we cannot see that file which is occurred by the soft link also.
Okay. Okay, how do you check the processing IDs?
Come again.
Process IDs.
Pro- Process IDs. Okay, by we have a different type of commands like ps space hyphen ef. If you want to check the particular process, ps space hyphen ef pipe grep hyphen I, that the service name. Like that, we can check the process ID. By using that one, we will get the two process IDs. One is the child process ID and parent process ID.
Okay, fine. So how you kill that processing ID? What is the command you are using?
Kill space hyphen 9, the parent process ID.
Okay, after 9 means?
Hyphen 9 means it will, I mean, like what I need, forcefully kill that process.
Okay, can I know about the inode? So do you know about this inode?
I know. Yeah, inode. See, for every file or directly, we have a default inode. If you type the inode in that Linux in the Linux interface, we will get one digit number. With the help of that calculation, we can know which inode process it is the file the file or directory is having.
Oh, okay. And um, can I know about the difference between rsync and SCP?
rsync is nothing but if you want to run the file in the different type of locations, we can use the rsync.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, SCP is nothing but it is used to transfer the file from one server from one Linux server to the another Linux server. That means we can transfer the file from the Windows machine to the Linux machine by using this SCP. That is source copy file transfer. I'm sorry, source copy file.
I mean, rsync are doing same uh, act as SCP or different actions is
See, as per my understanding in the Linux interface, rsync is nothing but if I, for example, if I want to keep one file that like backup dot service that file in one path means, if I want to keep that file in the same multiple paths, we can use the rsync command. That is rsync hyphen av, and we can keep that file by using this rsync file. We can run it in the multiple locations. We can run it by using that rsync file. We can use that file in the different locations like opt and and temp locations and different type of locations. That is the rsync I have understood from my end.
fine. So we have multiple extension file dot extension, and
Hmm. Hmm.
exec something different extensions. So I need to figure it out only dot txt files. How you figure it out?
See, you are asking related to the may I know you are asking for the related to the particular path, or
Extension.
otherwise you're asking the whole server.
In a directory, we have multiple
Okay,
files.
okay. Indirectly, if I want to filter that files, we have different type of things. We can use ls space hyphen lrt space star dot txt star. That means it will filter only the txt files only. Or otherwise, we have one more command that is called as find command. Find space slash. If consider the file is in the tmp directory, find slash tmp space
Mm-hmm.
hyphen type f that double quotation double commas and star dot txt file that double quotations. It
Okay,
will
okay.
filter all the txt files.
So one request from application end. The latest 90 days we can keep log related extension files. And after 90 days, which are our extension files, we need to remove after 90 days.
Yes.
Hold. Okay.
Mhm, mm,
How
mm.
you are figure it out?
Okay. You are asking for the previous files, huh? Otherwise the later
Yeah,
files.
similar.
Can you No, no. I am
Previous.
asking for the
I
for
mean,
previous use for previous files. We
after
have a one
90 days
command called
old.
find command. Yes, yes.
After
I
90
understood.
days.
Understood.
Yeah.
So if it is a previous files, we can use hyphen m time. If it is after 90 days files, we can use plus m time 90 days. So the whole command is find space. Consider that file is in the temp location.
Mm-hmm.
Find space slash tmp hyphen name hyphen type f. Okay, and plus I'm saying about the after 90 days files. Okay,
Okay.
plus 90 plus m time space 90 hyphen exec. You want to remove or otherwise you want to
Just
move the files,
list,
huh? Let me know.
just list the files. List, then after remove only, first list it.
Okay, hyphen exec ls space hyphen l means it will list the files. We can use the same command like plus m time 90 space hyphen exec rm rm space
Mhm.
the flower starting bracket and ending bracket and in the last slash. That one it will filter all the 90 days files after
Mhm.
90 days files, and it will remove the files.
Okay, can you please
That
explain
is
the good yeah fine, and can you please explain the cron functions?
Okay. We can see to run the job. To run the job, for example, we can use the cron is used to is to schedule the jobs. Okay. If I will be not available in the organization, I need to run this job at particular night times like that. We can use the cron job. Okay. In cron job, we have different type of things like cron. For example, if I want to schedule a job, consider I want to run one script in the cron tab. I need to go to the cron tab space hyphen e. We have a 5 stars. Okay, the first star is for minutes, and the second star is for hours, and the third star is for days, and the fourth star is for month of the days, and the fifth star is for the week of the days.
Okay.
Like that, for example, if I need to run for every 5 minutes, I can use /5 the rest of the 4 stars and that the path of that file name. If we keep like that, the file will runs the script will runs for every 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay, good. And let me go with the Terraform. We have two engineers working on the same script, the same state file. So they are running at a time Terraform apply. What happened? How do you prevent the conflicts?
Okay, we have in Terraform we have a concept called remote locking mechanism. By using this remote locking mechanism, we can lock the TF file. For example, the two users are running. The first user is running with the Terraform file. If he is using the state locking mechanism, the other user can't run the same script while running the Terraform apply auto hyphen approve. He will get one error.
Okay. And uh, can you elaborate about the Terraform refresh command?
Terraform refresh. Yeah?
Yes.
uh Terraform refresh.
Okay.
I hope it will refresh the infrastructure. What are the things we have created?
Mhm.
I mean, like it will refresh means if you do any changes, it will refresh.
Refresh. Okay, fine.
Mm.
Um, okay, let me go with some other questions. So Terraform plan and validate you the basic comments you're working on, right? So what is the difference
Yes.
on that?
See, by using this Terraform init, it will create the .tf file. Okay, if I click on the Terraform plan, it will check the Terraform code, and it will be keep it ready, but it will not install. Validate is nothing but we have written the code properly or not. By this using this Terraform
Okay.
validate, it will validate the code.
Okay. You create the resources and apply. Okay. So the first folder is created. What is mean? What is called that folder name?
Terraform.tf state.
Mm, That is folder.
Yes, the folder it will create the folder. Once we create on the no, no, first it will create a dot tf file first. Okay, then afterwards, if you click on Terraform apply auto approve, then it will create the Terraform.tf state file. So that is the main important file which will contains all our infrastructure, which will contain with all our infrastructure.
So why we are using Terraform workspaces?
Terraform workspaces is nothing but if I want to run the multiple code in different type of environments like dev prod and UAT. So at the time we can use the Terraform workstations. First we need to create the Terraform workspace in different locations, and we need to run the code in things. So at a time we can run the Terraform code in the workspaces.
Okay, and uh,
In the end, we can call it as it is allowed to manage the multiple isolated instances of infrastructure of state using a single set of configuration code regarding to the Terraform workspace.
do you have experience Terraform modules?
Uh, Terraform modules, yes, but I haven't worked on the Terraform. Okay, I have an experience regarding to the modules is nothing but the reusability of the code. Whatever the code we will keep in the GitHub, by using this Terraform modules, we can reuse that code for our infrastructure by doing some corrections in the in the code. We can use that. That is
Okay,
called as modules.
okay, and how do you, I mean, if state file, if state file is local and some multiple users are working, the state file is corrupt. So how do you resolve this issue, and how do you make it in state locking mechanism in a remote end?
So, coming to the AWS, I mean, like we have seen the many this type of issues. To resolve these issues, we can store the Terraform.tf state file in the S3 bucket. Yeah, if we enable the versioning in the S3 bucket, so I mean, like if, for example, if any issue got in the Terraform code and something has been destroyed, so we can get the code back from the S3 bucket. We have another option, but in the later Terraform sections, it is not working right now. We have one more thing that is called as for 1 second. We have one more option
Mhm.
that is called as DynamoDB. But right now, in the later Terraform sections, it is not working. So the safest way of way of storing that Terraform state file is we will use the S3 buckets. In case if S3 bucket is also got deleted, if we enable the versioning, the code will be there in the versioning phases.
Okay, fine, and let me go with some other questions related to. Okay, someone make changes, manual changes outside of the Terraform. Okay, how do you resolve it? It so your infra created by Terraform only, but someone is did manual changes in outside of the Terraform. How do you resolve it?
Manual changes. Can you please repeat it? So already
Okay,
infrastructure is built by using the Terraform. Otherwise,
yeah,
I mean,
only
like
Terraform only, but
uh,
someone was create manually changed in infra in a cloud environment. Okay.
okay, so we can use the so you we are already aware that we whenever we are using the whenever one infrastructure is created by the Terraform, the Terraform.tf state file will be created. So we can take that backup of the TF state file from the S3 bucket, and we can implement it. Means the changes will be replicated. So whatever the things we have generated in the code, those same changes will be replicated in the AWS.
Okay, someone was changes in a security group changed in manually. Okay, so you not updated in Terraform state. First, you need to ignore the changes which are on manual changes happen in the cloud end. How do you ignore while Terraform
Mm.
apply? So while running Terraform apply, it is asking to change. It changes happen. You need to apply the state file, but you need to ignore the security group changes which has happened into the cloud end out of Terraform. So you need to ignore. So how do you do it?
Uh, I haven't faced this issue, but I'm not aware.
Okay, do you know about the Terraform life cycles?
Yeah, we have three type of life cycles. One is called as create before destroy. Another one is called as ignore destroy. Another one is called as prevent destroy.
Okay,
So create before destroy is yeah.
okay,
Sorry. Come again.
ignore changes. What is mean of that?
So what are the changes we can keep? It will be like that only. That ignore changes. See, for example, if I don't want to do any changes, we can use this ignore changes. So prevent underscore destroy is nothing but whatever the code previously it is running. If we use this prevent underscore destroy in our in our main.tf file, So it will remove the whole infrastructure which is created by the before which is created by the infrastructure, and it will create the new infrastructure by using this prevent underscore destroy. Sorry, create underscore destroy. Create before underscore destroy.
Okay. I think I'm asking about only ignore changes. Can you please explain the example of ignore changes only?
Oh, ignore changes. Yeah, I told you no.
Little bit
See,
elaborate. Yeah.
one second. Okay, okay. Nothing but it specifies the resource attributes in the Terraform that should ignore during the update plans. Preventing. So it is nothing but whatever the changes we have done in the update plans, it will ignore those changes by using this ignore underscore changes.
Okay. Okay, fine. Let me go with you know uh Docker. Okay. In the
Hmm.
Docker, so you are creating Docker file, right? So can you please explain
Hmm.
the difference of CMD and entry point?
Okay. So the CMD can be executed at the runtime of the container, and entry point will be also executed at the runtime of the container. So entry points cannot be overridden. CMD can be overridden. That example, so we can use the CMD and entry point at the runtime of the container. That means whenever we are created the Docker file with the help of the image, when we are running that contain, when we are running that, when we are creating with the image with the container, at the time at the runtime of the container in the layers, we can see we can use the CMD and entry point.
Okay, copy and add difference.
See, copy is nothing but whatever the data that is kept in our Linux server. It needs to copy to the container. We can use copy command like copy space dot means whatever the files are there in that in the directory. Everything will be copied. Copy space copy space dot space and the Docker prescribed location. If we keep like that, all the files will be transferred from the Linux server to the Docker container.
Okay, do you have
And add is
experience?
nothing but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead,
yeah.
go ahead.
So add is nothing but if I want to download any files from the outside of the server by using this wget those things, we can use this add command.
Okay, what is okay, fine. What is the difference between single stage file and multi-stage file? Multi,
See,
yeah.
single stage file is nothing but if I want to run only one image with the different type of the Docker file options, we can use the single container. So see, in single stage file we have an issue. That means if you created with all these if you created with all these instructions which are running in the Docker file, the image size will get increased. If you use the multi-stage Docker build, multi-stage Docker build, it will try we can reduce the image size. That is the first option. And one more thing, most of this multi-stage Docker build will be run only it is used in the local test cases. That is whenever we want to do any test in our environment, we can use this multi-stage Docker build, nothing but to reduce the image size, the last option.
Okay, do you have experience Docker Compose?
Yeah, but
Oh,
in my organizations, we are not using the Docker Compose and so on.
mhm.
After the evolution of this Kubernetes orchestration, we are not using. Anyway, I'm having an idea.
Okay. Why we are why we are using Docker Compose? Do you have any? Tell me about this.
Yes, Docker Compose is nothing but if I want to run the two Docker files, like multi-stage Docker files, we can use the Docker Compose. That means if I want to run the front end and back end application in one go, we can create a multi-stage Docker file by using this Docker Compose. It will create the two environments at the same time. That is like Docker space Compose space hyphen d means it will create the two containers in one go.
Okay, okay. Fine. And so why we are using Docker volume?
See, Docker volume is nothing but if you want, if I created if I created a container without the volume, okay, so the data will be not stored in the Docker. Okay, for example, the container got crashed, so we cannot retrieve back the data. Why means the container is not connected with the volume. If you That's why we have a concept called Docker volume. By first we will create by using this Docker volume, if for example if the container got crashed, we can create the same container with the updated volume. All the data will be retrieved in the new container. That is like Docker volume ls. First we need to create the Docker create volume, that volume name, and we need to and we need to attach it to the running container.
So what is
If
the
the container got
command?
crashed, that volume will be there. It is a Docker volume, Docker volume create that volume name.
Okay,
That is the
fine.
command.
I mean, what is the command to run the container? Do you know about
Yes,
run the
Docker
container?
run. See, we have, you want in the iterative way or declarative way? That's the thing I'm asking. I mean, like if I want to,
Declarative.
just okay, no problem. Docker space run space hyphen d,
Mm-hmm.
and if I want to keep that name of the container hyphen name,
Mm-hmm.
that container new name and the container name, and if I want to do the port forwarding, I can use hyphen p, host port and container port, space hyphen v. Consider that I have created a volume like data volume, so hyphen v space slash data, and that the
Okay.
data path,
Okay.
and afterwards we can that is the command of the Docker container creation. And we
Okay.
can, and in the last we need to give the container name. That's the image name, I'm sorry, image name.
Okay. And where you
To
store
do
the
the code part,
images?
we okay, we have two options. One is called as registry and repository. So we would like to store all our images in the Docker repository. So we have a central Docker hub. We can store the all the images in the central Docker hub by creating the user accounts.
Okay. Do you
By
have?
creating that, and we have one more option that is called as ECR, which is included in the AWS. By using this Elastic Container Registry, we can store our Docker images. Like if it is related to the public or private images, we can store in ECR and we can store in the Docker hub.
Okay. Okay. Fine. And coming to AWS. Okay. What is the difference between
Mhm.
IaaS, SaaS, PaaS?
Uh, okay, IaaS is nothing but infrastructure as a code.
Hmm.
So for that an example, we can consider it as a Terraform. Okay, so coming to the PaaS is nothing but platform as a code. So platform is nothing but the platform is already built, means we can consider it as a platform as a code. Software as a service means already that the services which they will provide, that software is called as software as a service.
Can you please give me the examples of IaaS and PaaS SaaS services in AWS?
You want examples? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, in
Okay.
AWS.
IaaS is nothing but in IaaS, Amazon Web Services will come. Amazon Web Services like EC2.
Mhm.
EC2 is an example of an Amazon Web Services. Sorry, IaaS. And
Okay.
PaaS, it is an example we can consider as an OpenShift, Red Hat, or otherwise AWS Elastic Beanstalk is a platform as a service example.
Mm-hmm.
SaaS, we can consider software as a service means we can take a Microsoft Office
Mm-hmm.
365. It is a
Mm-hmm.
better example for software as a
Okay,
service.
okay, good. And yeah, what is mean of APC?
Okay, okay. VPC is nothing but it is a region dependency which is used to run all our workloads in the environments.
Okay, do you have experience in CI/CD pipeline?
Yeah, I have experience,
Okay, can
but
you please explain your CI/CD flow?
okay. So regarding to the CI/CD flow, okay, I'll tell you. Uh, So first, the developers will develop the source code and keep it, and they will keep it in the GitHub repository. So by using this, we have a beautiful tool that is called as Jenkins. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so first the developers will develop the source code and keep it in the GitHub repository. We will get the code into our prescribed Linux servers by using we have one more tool. If it is related to the Java, I'm giving an example for the Java application. Okay,
Mhm.
related to the Java application, for example, the developers will provide that source code in the GitHub repository. By
Mhm.
using the Maven, we can convert that all the source code into the jar file. Okay,
Okay.
jar or var file, a jar file. Once we got that jar file, we will deploy that jar file by using the Jenkins. Jenkins is nothing but it is a open source environment which is used for the continuous integration. So in continuous integration, we will get the jar file. We'll get the jar file into the Jenkins repository by creating the pipeline syntax. So in Jenkins we have a pipeline mechanism.
Mhm.
So we can write the pipeline in the form of the stages, like stages, agent any, stage one, stage two, stage three, stage four. So the first stage we will consider we'll get the code from the GitHub repository, and the second stage we will build a Maven file. Okay, and the third stage we will by using the Docker we will deploy the file into by using the Docker we will deploy the jar file. By using this jar file, we can create the container, and the final stage is nothing but we will by use we can deploy that container by using the Kubernetes orchestration tool.
Mhm.
With the help of the Kubernetes orchestration tool, we will create that pod. That is the final stage of the CI/CD.
Okay, fine. So you work on Kubernetes, right?
Hmm.
Okay, and can you please explain Kubernetes architecture?
Yeah. In Kubernetes, we have two components. One is called as master, and another one is called as worker nodes. In master, we have kube API server and kube controller and etcd scheduler and scheduler. That's all. And coming to the worker node, we have kubelet and kube proxy. Okay. First, I'm giving an example with
Ah,
the deployment file. Yeah. Tell me.
okay, that's enough. Okay, so now I need components only. I don't want to elaborate each and
Mhm.
every component. Just I want the components. Do you know about the containerd? Where it is worker node side or master node side?
Container D is in the worker node side.
Uh, Yeah, you missed that one.
Sorry,
Uh,
container runtime. I'm sorry.
um,
Container runtime is at the worker node. Container D is in the
no, no, no.
master, I think.
Okay, it, okay, okay, fine. And I'll go with the next question. And what is mean of PVC?
See, PV is nothing but persistent volume, and PVC is nothing but the persistent volume claim. Okay, if you want to create the persistent volume in the Kubernetes cluster, use the PVC. If you want to create the PVC, we can we have an if I want to attach that persistent volume to the to the pod, then we will use the PVC.
Okay, and so which one you are using in a production? So static or
PVC,
dynamic?
persistent volume.
I mean, static or dynamic?
Yeah, you're asking in production, huh? Okay.
Yeah, static or dynamic. We have two types, right?
Yes, yes. We will use the static.
Mhm. Okay. Um. Okay, fine. And let me go with error handling. So your pod is crashed with backups. How you resolve it?
Okay. So first I will log into the Kubernetes cluster by using the first I will check the logs. In the logs, I mean, like you're saying that if it's related to the crash loop backup, first I will check the logs. In the logs, we can identify, or we can use the kubectl describe the pod name. In the events, we can check why we are getting this crash loop backup. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
whether it is related to the in the logs. First I will check the Docker image, whether it is properly resided in the Docker hub or not. And if there is any and I will check that YAML file. If there is any mistake in the YAML file also, we will get this crash loop back off.
In home guild.
Out of memory issue, yeah, that is one more option. We have an out of memory issue also.
Okay,
Yes,
home guild. How do
out
you
of memory
result?
issue as
Yeah.
well, we will get this crash loop back off.
Mm-hmm.
OM kill is nothing but out of memory. That means if the memory, for example, we have. I'm just giving an example. Okay, if the memory is if the memory is reached to the threshold limit, at the time we will get that out of at the time also we'll get the crash loop back of issue.
Okay. Pod is pending state. How do you resolve it? Pod is pending state.
Yeah. Okay. If the first I will check the first I will by using this describe command I will check the events. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the event we can identify in the events it will show why the pod is went to the standing pending state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First then afterwards I will check the YAML file. If there is any mistake in the file I will correct it. And
Mm-hmm.
I will in YAML file, I'll give an example, a brief example of an YAML file. In the YAML file, I will check that image name, whether the image is resetted in the Docker hub or not. That is the one more thing. And afterwards, I will check the match labels also. If the match labels also is not updated correctly, at the time also we will see this.
Mm-hmm.
At the time also we can see that pod in the pending state.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So coming to the monitor, do you have experience? What are the monitor tools?
Yeah, in our organizations, we are using Prometheus and Grafana and Datadog. Okay, so
Okay.
the Prometheus and the Grafana, we have a concept called metrics. Okay,
Okay.
so the Prometheus and Grafana you can use for the application. Datadog we can use for the application monitoring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, consider I want to check the Kubernetes Kubernetes logs. So we can integrate this Prometheus and Grafana and Datadog to the Kubernetes.
Okay.
So Grafana is nothing but it will show the graphical representations. For
Okay.
example, if the pod CPU has reached to the threshold limit, we can see all the things in the that graphical interface. Graphical interface.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Those
Nice.
things will be installed by using this by using some codes. Okay. Uh, Once we integrate, then we can do it. We have a one more beautiful tool that is called as Datadog. So in Datadog also in Datadog, if we integrate the Datadog with the Kubernetes cluster, we can check the Kubernetes logs. So
Okay.
you asked me one more question related to the pod pending state. So I will give a better example regarding to the pod pending state. See, Kubernetes cluster every 10 seconds it will check the pod. If the pod is in the pending state, after first it will check for 10 seconds. Afterwards it will check for the 20 seconds. After that it will check one more time for the 30 seconds. If pod is not coming back, then it will show that the pod is in the pending state. In that one, these all things we can observe all these things in the Kubernetes in the application monitoring tools like Prometheus and Grafana and Datadogs.
Okay. Okay, Ramesh. I'm good at you, and I'll share the good back. Okay. Thank you.